Hello and welcome to the Challenge Coin podcast. Today I'm happy to have Imran Hasan. He's here to talk about his journey being an entrepreneur and a volunteer. Imran, thank you for joining us today.
Excited to be here, Arthur. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and look forward to sharing my story and seeing if we can help lift up the community and inspire and motivate others to serve in any way possible.
Imran, for people meeting you for the first time, what's the 1 minute version of what you do?
Well, I don't know if we have 1 minute to encapsulate that, but I'll try my best. As you pointed out earlier, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the president of Transglobal Systems of Canada. We're a second-generation family business in the telecom sector. We provide low-voltage cabling solutions for commercial buildings that connect to smart technologies. My father, who's an engineer, started the company in 1983. He had this vision that, everyone's going to need a telephone one day, so we should be in the telephone business. So we started supplying cables, connectors, and tools to installers to make their life easier. And 43 years later, we found ourselves now in this space where we're supplying cables, connectors, and tools to installers that put in networks for data, voice, security, audiovisual, everything that now connects through the internet. So Dad was very wise 43 years ago to have this vision, and he's 88 years young and still with us. But
Wow.
that's what we do from a business standpoint. When I'm not operating the business and running the business and serving the industry, I volunteer my time through different organizations, including CANASA, which is the Canadian Association for Security. I'm a director on Ontario board. I'm also the vice president of. I was the vice president of the food bank that serves Western Mississauga. I've taken a step back from there and becoming a director only, and hopefully, mentor someone else to take that role on. And I'm also the chair for Crime Stoppers, as you know. That's how we connected through the
Yeah.
Challenge Coin, and more recently, I've been appointed by the government of Canada as an honorary colonel in the Canadian Armed Forces.
Wow, you have so much to tell us. Yeah, and your dad was really a visionary from what I can see, right?
Well, he chose Canada as the country he wanted to call home, and the one thing that he instilled in me and in us, my siblings and I, was the importance of giving back to the community and serving the country in every way possible. And whether it was through the business in the industry or whether it was through community service throughout various facets. And for me, it was community safety and well-being, and that's why you'll see that I have chosen very specifically to serve on the board for the food bank as well as for Crime Stoppers and now with the Canadian Armed Forces, because those are all interrelated. And I do believe that community safety is a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play. And while I'm not a first responder and I'm not a member of the Canadian Armed Forces, I do support both institutions very strongly. And I believe that working together, we can make this country a safer and a more sovereign place to live, work, and raise our families for the next generation.
Well, thank you for your service. Even if you're not a first responder, yeah, we always tell like a police officer, first responder, thank you for your service. Imran, what got you involved with Crime Stoppers specifically out of everything else you do?
Well, that's a great question. So going back, I'm going to say about 7 years ago, I was serving again on the Ontario Council for the Canadian Association for Security, and there was a project that every year we would do a fundraiser for a charity in the GTA, and in the form of a hockey tournament. And so I was on that committee, and so I, being a Peel boy from Mississauga, asked the question of the committee chair, why aren't we raising funds for a Peel-based charity? To which the chair said, well, if you bring the nomination forward, I'm sure we can have a vote on it. And if there's no objection, we certainly can. So I put the nomination forward and I chose Crime Stoppers as I thought it would be a good alignment with the security industry, and the security magazine as well. They agreed. And so I reached out to Crime Stoppers and said, listen, we'd like to hold a fundraiser in your benefit. And they thought that was a wonderful idea. We had a hockey tournament. We raised $10,000. And once we handed over the check to Crime Stoppers, they said, listen, what do you do and how do you feel about joining the board? So I think I kind of fell into the role through the fundraising initiative.
It wasn't your first volunteering position, right? with this
So no,
organization?
I've been volunteering. I feel like my entire life. I was on the board of directors for the Mississauga Arts Council. Prior to that, I was the chair for the Mississauga Board of Trade International Trade Committee, and prior to that, the chair for the Growth and Power Committee. Doing similar to what you're doing, and that is helping highlight stories of entrepreneurs in Mississauga specifically. And then I volunteered my time with, various different organizations, but these are the more recent ones that I've really dedicated my time and my life to, and ensuring I leave that institution or that organization better than I found it.
What I love about Canada is how they teach kids, younger kids, to volunteer here. Just as an example, my 16-year-old son just finished his first time volunteering at a summer school last week. He did like his obligatory, so to say, volunteering. But even if it's obligatory, they get the sense of helping and giving out to the community. And I hope it will stay with him throughout his life just to give back.
It's so important, Arthur, and it's really great that your next generation, being 16, are getting involved in community service. And whether it's at the local community center, school, place of worship, food bank, or any organization that needs help, it's great to show how we can all get involved, and many hands make light
Mhm.
work. And I think
Absolutely.
that's really the approach. And young people need to know that there's so many benefits that come out of volunteering. And I tell this to people when they ask, "Why should I volunteer?" And it's like, well, you never know who you're going to be standing next to who's also volunteering. A person that you would never normally connect with would be the person that you're standing next to, helping serve perhaps a meal, or helping give up, give a head up to the community in need, or, just give your time. And I'll tell you personally, myself, I ended up meeting many, many individuals who are through business, people that I'm connected with that I
Mhm.
would have not normally connected with through LinkedIn or through a trade show. And those are very formal introductions. Whereas serving on a charitable organization, whether it's a board level or just as a regular volunteer, the connection is so much more cordial and stronger and long
Mhm.
lasting.
Thank you so much again for answering all this question, Imran. You're an entrepreneur with Transglobal Systems of Canada, a second generation family business, and you also volunteer your time with Bill Crime Stoppers in Food for Change, and more recently appointed to the role of Canadian Armed Forces. Imran, tell me, how do you manage your time, and are there any synergies between work and volunteer service?
Well, I use the analogy that idle hands are a devil's workshop. So I try to keep myself busy just to, keep on the straight and narrow. But really, my father instilled in me this analogy that if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I truly believe that. And whether it's coming into the office first in, last out, or showing up to a meeting early to try and make my luck, or volunteering my time with various organizations and institutions. I do so because I do it willingly, I do it enjoyably, and I don't look at it as work. It's just a
Mhm.
mission. And sometimes it's a short term mission, sometimes it's a long term mission, but nevertheless, it's something you commit to and something you see through from start to end.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so important to be passionate and love what you do. And just like you said, find passion and you will never work a day, right?
Correct. Yeah. And create that environment that you want others to thrive in, and encourage others who are coming into an environment, if they're not doing so willingly and not doing, doing so enjoyably or happily, persuade them to do something that they would enjoy, right? Because the
Hmm.
last thing you want is to work in an environment where you have negativity or you have pessimism, right? You want to see
Hmm.
that glass half full. You want everyone else to see the same, perspective, and share in building up the morale of an organization. And in the Canadian Armed Forces, we call that esprit de corps, the pride of what you do in our unit, and what we do in the community is so very important. And I think that those values are something that we need to hold on to very strongly, and help encourage our next generation to also do so. The same way that you've decided to take this initiative to launch this podcast. I mean, you're not getting paid to do so. It's not something you're monetizing. You're doing doing so because you want to help share stories of, individuals, but also to link it to the challenge coin, which I think is really the purpose of today's podcast.
100%. This year, you will host the Peel Crime Stoppers annual golf tournament
Yes.
fundraiser for the third time. And this is the first project and the first event we made a challenge coin for this tournament. Imran, tell us how it all got started, the tournament, and how it's been so far.
Sure. So, for your listeners and your viewers who don't know, that Crime Stoppers is a registered charity. We're independent from the police, and we don't get any sustainable funding from any level of government. In order to operate and cover the cost of the expenses, we have to fundraise to pay for the third party call center that. Manages the toll-free tip line, which is 1-800-222-TIPS. So we have to fundraise, and we found in the past different methods and means to do fundraising, whether it be car washes or different kinds of fun events like hockey tournaments and whatnot. But we found that the golf tournament was something that really organizations gravitated towards and was fun to do so. So we took it upon ourselves as a board 3 years ago to organize the inaugural golf tournament fundraiser. It was the first time our board had organized it, and we really did so in a very short order and were able to pull off a successful event. But the following year, we wanted to do something even more meaningful. So we thought, in order to give everyone a little souvenir from the event, other than getting a towel or getting, some golf balls, which we ultimately lose, how about a challenge coin? And so the challenge coin idea was something that I had in the back of my mind. And then one day I saw a television episode about Strike Your Coin. And I'm like,
Oh,
hey, wait a second. What is this all about? And then when I saw your picture and you were demonstrating how early coins were struck, I was really inspired that you're a Canadian company, you're based in Ottawa. I mean, all of the dots were being connected for me in my mind. So I immediately reached out to you through social media or through the internet. I can't remember. And you answered and we connected. And I said, listen, we want to create a challenge coin that's a lasting memory for our guests who are
yeah.
going to participate and support the tournament. And so
Mhm.
that's how you and I connected. And so that was year one. And I think you're going to show us the coin that you had created for us.
Yes, and I still remember it wasn't a connection through LinkedIn or social media. You just picked up the phone and called me, and it was out of the blue.
Right.
We had such a nice chat. I still remember it like it was yesterday, but it's been like 2 years or 3 years already.
Okay.
It's
You have a better
and
memory than me, but yeah, I'm that kind of guy. I'm not shy. I pick up the phone. If I see a phone number, I call it, right?
and thank you. I really appreciate like people should be more open, just calling, approaching, and asking. I think I just grabbed like a challenge coin from my stand, and it's not like a regular challenge coin. It's like it looks like a coin, as you know, but it's a ball marker, right? It's
Correct.
like detachable. So I
Two
think
pieces. Yes.
that what really golf players would appreciate to be
Correct.
just not a challenge coin, but you can actually use it during the game, right?
Correct, correct. It has a dual purpose. So it did, suit the purpose of having a challenge coin, which has its roots that go back to the military. But it's also, as you pointed out, a ball marker that can be used functionally when you're playing golf. And what a great way to have a conversation about Crime Stoppers when you put that ball marker on the green and you're lining up your shot and someone looks at the logo and says, oh, Crime Stoppers, what's that all about? And now you have an opportunity to promote the organization. So it took of course our board and golf committee to come up with the design ideas, but it was your team that actually created the design overall for the coin, and we loved it in the first year. So much so that we said, hey, in the following year, which is 2026, it's our third annual, but it also is our 50-year anniversary of the Crime Stoppers program. And unfortunately, the founder of Crime Stoppers passed away in 2025 in November. But I wanted to mention that he was a Canadian-born police officer. He was the reason the Crime Stoppers program was created, and he needed help when he was serving in in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for a police service to help solve a crime. So he put out this call to the public to say, if you can help provide any tips, we'll give you a reward. And that gave birth to the anonymous tip line, 1-800-222-TIPS.
Hmm.
That's 1-800-222-8477 for your listeners and viewers who want to report anonymously. You can do so. And that's a national number that rings from coast to coast to coast in Canada. But again, going back to Greg McAleese, who is the founder of Crime Stoppers, he was originally from the area of Picton, Ontario, here in Canada,
Ontario. Hmm.
and we wanted to do something to just recognize and celebrate his accomplishments. So we came back to you and said, listen, we want to do something to strike a coin to honor this milestone occasion of 50 years, but also to pay homage to Greg McAleese, the founder of Crime Stoppers. So between you and I, we went back and forth with some ideas.
Hmm.
You brought forward a few designs. We chose the one, and now we're very excited to be presenting the 50-year anniversary challenge
Hmm.
coin at our third annual golf tournament, which is happening September 17 at the prestigious Brampton Golf Course. And I know that you and your team will be joining us again this year, and I'm sure if we're fortunate to receive a visit from the Ontario Premier, the Honorable Doug Ford, who
Hmm.
was there last year and the year before, perhaps he'll come by again and show
Absolutely.
his support to our first responders and to the Crime Stoppers program.
I can't wait to attend the tournament once again this year. I really enjoyed attending it last year and meeting Doug Ford and you personally. And yeah, just like you said, we should all be thankful to what Greg McAllister did as the founder of the Crime Stoppers. And it doesn't work only in Canada. It's like North American, right?
It's worldwide, actually.
It's
So
actually worldwide.
there's
Yeah.
37 chapters in Ontario, 87 chapters in Canada, and over 1,400 chapters worldwide. So this program started, as I mentioned, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with an idea from with one guy, and from there it started to really evolve throughout North America and around the world. So there are chapters globally, and really this is a very instrumental tool that's required by police to help prevent and solve crimes. We don't know the countless amounts of drugs that were seized, guns that were removed from the streets, and criminal activities that were thwarted, let
Mhm.
alone crimes that were committed that were solved. And sometimes it's immediately, and sometimes it can happen after years, and sometimes even
Okay.
after decades. Right.
Wow.
So, what people don't realize sometimes is that little nugget of information that they know that they could, pass forward through the Crime Stoppers program without having to give up their identity, without having to give up
Yeah,
any
it's all
information.
anonymous, right?
It's 100% anonymous. And so when you call 1-800-222-8477, they don't ask your name. They don't record your caller ID, and you'll never get a call back because we don't know who you are, and we don't want to know who
Yeah.
you are, right?
Mhm.
And so you can call in and provide a tip, and that tip will be then disseminated to the appropriate law enforcement agency that can take that information and piece it together in an nation and help, as I said, hopefully prevent a crime from happening, or if a crime has already occurred, to bring the bad actors to justice.
Imran, do you remember any remarkable story that was like the final puzzle in solving the crime?
I think what we should do, rather than me telling you the story about a special, case that was solved, I would be happy to introduce you to a friend of mine, Cal Miller, who actually wrote the book on Crime Stoppers.
Oh,
He would
really?
be the guy that you may want to, interview next.
I'd love to.
And he will tell you a series of stories that he was actually a reporter with the Toronto Star before
Mhm.
he helped found the Toronto Crime Stoppers board. He was one of the original board members, and he now lives in Niagara Falls. And if you're able to and you're interested, I'm happy to make that introduction. He'd be a great guy to have on your show to talk about the many stories of how the Crime Stoppers tip line has helped solve
I
so
think
many.
Peel Crime Stoppers actually have their own podcast, right? Where
We
they
do, we
tell
do,
like
yeah, yeah. So
on
um,
a radio, right?
So we have a radio show that airs every Sunday at noon, and it's a
Hmm.
1 hour show, and then that show gets recorded, and then it's saved on our podcast. So if you go to pocrimestoppers.ca, and in the navigation bar you'll see podcast, you'll go
Podcast,
there and
yeah.
you'll listen to the episodes. Oh geez, I don't remember now how many episodes we have, but it's over 100,
Wow.
and we've been able to, through the generosity of the business community, received sponsorships and funds to be able to put together a weekly radio show on Saga 960. It's the only radio station in Peel, and we put out information to provide safety tips to the public, and it's of course free to the public. The toll free number is free for the public to use, and of course we're here to serve and help protect the community and empower the concerned citizens in our community who want to report suspicious or illegal activities. They can do so through the Crime Stoppers program.
Well, thank you again, Imran, for all your work, for all your service. Is there anything you would like to share as the final note of our discussion today?
I'm really inspired by what you're doing, Arthur, and taking this initiative to launch a podcast to help share stories of individuals and organizations that are creating memorable keepsakes, mementos, in the form of a challenge coin, and honoring, as I said, we say in the Canadian Forces or in the military, the esprit de corps, the pride of what we do as a unit, or what memory we can help preserve. It's just great that you've been able to take a concept, an idea of something as simple as a challenge coin, and reach out to so many different organizations and communities. So, yeah, I would say that if anybody's interested in having a challenge coin design, I would encourage them to call you and to talk to you about the many organizations you worked with, and try and support local, and buy
Hmm.
Canadian. I think that's just not something we should say. It's something we should do.
We should
And
do, yeah.
supporting your business is very important, because we know that the profits of your company go back into the local community. And in your
Absolutely.
case, it's in Ottawa. So there may be a hockey team or a soccer team or Boy Scout troop or something
Local
where,
charities.
yeah,
Hmm.
organizations and charities, and whether it be seniors or youth, you could say, hey, Strike Your Coin is going to be happy to make a contribution, help support, but sometimes volunteer, whatever that is. I think that's very important. So whether you serve your community through something unique and innovative, as starting a business in the challenge coin industry, or just volunteering your time, I think it's a great example. So keep up the great work, Arthur. Thank you for what you do. Congratulations to Strike Your Coin, and we look forward to continuing building our relationship between Peel Crime Stoppers, Strike Your Coin, and other Crime Stoppers chapters and organizations that we serve.
Hmm. 100%. Thank you so much for your kind words, and I can't thank you enough for coming today. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation.
It was
Thank you.
fantastic. Thank you again for having me, and stay safe, my friend.